The internet is going in and out, in and out. Really weird.
Joe, what happened to all of the comment? Oh, they're there.
No, they're still here.
Well, no, we lost all the other ones.
We did. I can see them on my phone, but on here.
Well, this is the show before the show. Now they can hear us.
They can hear us.
Yeah, when we refresh, it gets rid of all the what you see in chat.
Correct. All right. Yeah, I don't know. People, our internet's going in and out, in and out. I get.
No,
we don't know if it's due to weather or
what.
There's no way it's due to weather. Not with the amount of money that we pay for the kind of internet that we have here.
So
when you would think at an airport, like, you know, that stuff would definitely not happen.
No, it's not. It's not because of weather. I guarantee it. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing all right. Show before the show.
Okay. Looks like whatever is okay now at the moment.
On a Barbie doll mission.
Christmas shopping, I'm guessing.
Thank you, Trish, for telling us you couldn't hear us. Wait a second. Now I got to get back focused. Hope everybody's doing well on this Monday. First Monday of December. Like, subscribe, share the show. Let people know that we're here, please. Yes, we are here. Good morning to Karen and Dawn and Benjamin and Danielle. And Karen with a C, and Susan and Sasha and Jay and Mary. Whose client accounts? Tara, Mary.
I know, client accounts. That was on YouTube.
Mike. Appreciate you guys. Hope everybody had a pretty good weekend.
They missed you singing. Are you going to go ahead and sing now?
Who was it for again? Dawn?
Dawn.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dawn. Happy birthday to you.
There you go. Now we're back up and you sang
many
again.
More. Da, 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 da. Good morning, Annette. I was asked to sing happy birthday, so I did.
Trisha says we're like Romper Room with all of our hellos.
Hello.
Do you remember the Romper Room?
Hello,
hello. Young for that?
Hello. I do remember. No, I remember Romper Room. I do.
So fun.
I do. I remember it. What do we got here?
The magic mirror in Romper Room. You just made Dawn's day.
Really? All right. That's easy. If making people's day is that easy, then we all should be able, or at least try to do that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, but most people don't sing for their listeners.
Well, the other people had to deal with it.
Right, yeah.
Because
y'all had to hear it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll do the silly things. I just don't have a good voice. Unless you do it quieter. I mean, most people can sing at a lower voice.
Yeah, like happy.
Or you're just like,
whisper.
Well, you can sing like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Yeah, real low.
Because if you try to sing like loud, then it gets into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some people can sing really loud, really good.
Well, yeah, if you have a good voice.
Right.
Sure enough, that stuff starts to happen. Let's see here. Finish up. We're just a little bit behind. Sorry, guys.
We actually were on time.
I've literally been working on the show since like 3:00 yesterday, trying to get stuff taken care of. Actually, 10:27 a.m. yesterday, and just now getting things taken care of. The things
That's
you
'cause
don't
it
know
threw us.
behind the scene.
That's because it threw us with the internet. We were actually ready, on time, ready to go, and then they couldn't hear us.
Even though we were running late, we were on time.
But right. True.
Okay. Of course, guys, like, subscribe, share the show. You can send stars. Appreciate donations. You can check out our website. We're getting ready to start stuff up here on a Monday. Okay. Joe, highlight of your weekend, and it can't be anything with cannabis.
Relaxation. But I know that doesn't, but that didn't have anything to do with cannabis. It was because I didn't have anything to do all weekend and I was able to relax for once.
That is a good thing. That is a good thing.
Lizzie, did you have a highlight of your weekend?
Mine was kind of like Joe's. I mean, we were busy, but I brought my mom a Christmas tree, so that was fun. We went to my daughter's church and talk about some loud singing. It was really good. There was some loud singing going on there. But it was really good. So I think that was good. That was good. I won't tell you all the other things like, roof leaks at one of our kids' house and plumbing problems in another. I mean, so,
Well, you'll have to deal with that.
You do.
I got sinus infection stuff at the end of last week, so I was struggling all weekend with that. Feel great today, thank God. Nicole helped me out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she helped me out with something. I got a Z-Pack really fast.
Nice.
Boom.
Z-Pack is great
worked great for me.
Yeah, if you take it too much, it's not good. But every once in a while, if you take it, clears everything out.
But if the thing is this, though, people go, oh my God, you got COVID. You got to stay away. And somebody told me that.
You don't have COVID.
No, of course not. But here's the thing is, it's how it's transformed everybody into certain things. And I said, even if I did have COVID, what would it matter? Stay away. I'm like, as opposed to having the flu, no, I don't want any sickness. Yeah, I know, I get that. But what does it mean?
Right.
And she couldn't tell me.
She couldn't tell me. Out about it.
She couldn't tell me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Hello?
But they're still getting freaked out and they can't tell you why is this worse or whatever. I mean, it's still the leftover propaganda on there.
The residue remains.
The residue of the propaganda is still alive and well on some people. But, then like I was telling you earlier, Vic, my mom, she lives in an assisted living right now during rehab. And she woke up, she's like, oh my gosh, all these people are just dropping dead. And I think it's because we all took the what. She realized, and I didn't want her to take it, but she did it. I
get it.
A lot of elderly people did. And I'm seeing more elderly people as a whole just dropping dead. I know this is the time of year for dropping dead.
I know. I was like, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. It is December, and now it's time for you to just drop dead.
It went from highlight of your weekend to, oh my God.
Merry Christmas, everybody. The morgue's full.
Oh, yeah. Well, instead of the shitter's full, it's the morgue's full.
My God.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, for sure.
Oh, my God.
For people.
Lizzie.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I heard a funny, dirty joke this morning.
Are you going to tell it?
You guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
Should I?
Yeah. It's still a show before the show. So if it's not a good joke, then,
okay,
we can edit it out.
All right.
Tell it anyway.
Why was the snowman so happy? Because he saw the snowblower coming down the street.
The funny part about that is you call that a dirty joke.
Right. That is pretty funny.
Well, I'm trying to, we got a family show, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We try to keep it a little clean. Oh my goodness. I thought that was really kind of funny. Oh.
Okay. Joe's still smiling, laughing.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Oh.
Oh my God. Todd says everybody loves a good snow blowing. Oh my God. I don't mean to offend anybody. Please, please, please.
You probably already offended some people.
Offending people with the snow blower joke.
The snow blower. Did you like it? Did you like that, Joe? You smiled for a while.
It was because you thought it was a dirty joke.
That's it?
And that was really more of a dad joke, I think. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's worse than a dad joke. You can't tell that to a kid.
Well, but only a dirty mind thinks it goes bad. A kid would just think the snowblower is just going to blow him away or suck him up.
Well, I promise you the snowman wanted to be blown away and sucked.
Oh my goodness.
It's Monday.
Lizzie took my cute joke and like blew it out of the water.
Blew it out of water. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Yeah. So I know it's still the show.
So our new show is Dirty Jokes.
Dirty
Cancel
Jokes.
this jokes.
That joke went from blowing to sucking.
Oh my goodness gracious. I know.
You guys know you're going to use that joke, you guys with the same minds. So there you go once again. Why was the snowman so happy? Because he saw the snowblower coming down the street. There
you go. Mm-hmm. You know what people have to do tonight?
Oh my God. Wait a minute. What?
Well, you know how we've been talking so much about the stuff that went on at St. Charles County Council, the meetings tonight, if you want to go and, make a ruckus out of yourself. Because
no, you don't make a ruckus, right? You just want to go and show up. I don't even know what they're talking about tonight, though.
I'm hearing that resolution is going to be brought back up.
Well, here's the thing that I liked about that is that the people that voted against it,
mm-hmm.
those councilmen also offered for the man who had the knee surgery to reintroduce it.
That's perfect. Because if he...
So that's why I was like, okay.
Because they know they're wrong. They do.
Angie says that's a boss joke.
A boss joke?
I'm assuming that's a positive thing?
Yeah, that is a positive thing. Because you can say that, because it's like off the cuff, but a boss can say it.
And it's still safe.
Yeah, that is a pretty safe joke. That is pretty safe. You thought it was nasty. That's what I
said. So dirty joke. It's considered a dirty joke.
Okay. There you go.
It's one of those that could have double meaning,
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Cindy says, yeah, he could have also zoomed in and voted last week. That's what,
I agree.
That's what Lizzie agreed with you, Cindy, last week. 100%. She said that too.
Yeah, come on now. If you can take a picture of your broken up knee, you can turn on a Zoom. Because he took a picture of his own knee. And I'm not bashing him at all. But he brought it up and then he wasn't there. And I feel bad for the whole situation. And I know it was just, like not really anything more than what, like a symbolized thing to do. But it tells you how St. Charles County thinks.
Oh, shoot. I just looked at the time. We got to start the show. We already kind of started this, but we have to actually officially do the music, I guess, right?
Yeah. I got to hit record.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know what? That's sad. We're not, because we didn't have the show started. Your little nasty joke isn't even going to be on all of our podcasts, except for on Facebook.
I'll start it. I'll do it. I'm going to, here's what we're going to do, everybody.
Okay, here, everybody on the chat line. Here you go.
It's like, have you ever been in an audience where everybody's told what to do?
Yeah.
And then you come back and somebody comes in and you're like, we're all going to do this. We're going to do it all over again just after Joe starts the show.
And you all comment about how funny Vic is.
Joe, you can start the show whenever.
All right, here we go.
Hey guys, welcome to canceltheshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Pro Joe in the house. December 4th podcast, canceltheshow.com. Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central and all the time on our website, canceltheshow.com. We are grateful for everybody joining us today. Want to give a quick shout out to our show sponsors as well. We are grateful for everybody that we have on the show. As always, of course, Complete Auto Body Repair, 7 locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Everything with your car from A to Z. Amini's in the Chesterfield Valley, your leading supplier in traditional infrared saunas and saltwater hot tubs. It is the time, especially for those two issues. The saunas. I saw another report over the weekend talking about increased life expectancy because of the heart circulation, body weight loss, as a matter of fact. Experience Realty Partners, Kathy Helbig Strict, Steve Strict, and Score Mortgage, plus New Age Health and Wellness. Also, Route 66 Cannabis Ham with Route 66, Ham Hamid with Route 66 Dispensary, several locations throughout the St. Louis area, and Ostar product line. Justin Talivas from Solar City STL, making renewable energy part of your life. Strategic Air Services, the premier private transportation providers in all things aviation. WeQuip's going to be in studio this week. Paige Measley will be back in on Thursday at 9 o'clock to explain more, to get your mind created in regards to creating ideas that you can make money for yourself and find other items, especially as we come into the holiday season.
That's great.
WeQuip. And once again, if you go to our partners page on our website, canceltheshow.com, we have links to go to all these sites to sign up. It's great stuff. Wendy's in the Chesterfield Valley, of course. Best pizza, burgers, wings, smoked meats there. Had a chance to stop by for a little bit on Saturday and watch a football game. And, of course, we are grateful for all of their support with the show. We've also got our merchandise page on the canceltheshow.com website. You can go there, check that out as well, as we're here Monday through Friday with news headlines, politics, interviews from all over the country. We're also trying to get Justin Talivas back on this week with Solar City STL. And we've also got on Friday, a woman is going to join us for a while. She grew up in St. Charles, and she wrote a book on her house being haunted.
Oh, who can you tell us her name yet, or is it a secret?
You know what? Hold on. Maybe I can tell you this.
Okay.
Let me look her name up again.
I love
really
that.
Quick. Let me see here. We'll tease it for Friday, because on Fridays it's we have fun. We go kind of crazy. The Kelly Mano show on Friday. Kelly, Eric, myself. That was Friday, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was Friday.
But big show, big ratings.
It was awesome.
Appreciate you guys. And Kelly, if you guys haven't followed her yet, follow her. I mean, she put together, I think, 5 or 6 reels and posted them all over her stuff for us. And it really gave us a huge boost.
Yeah,
as well.
that was great.
It was Kelly. Thank you. Megan Marie, who set us up, her name is Jennifer Donahue.
Very nice. Very nice.
She had a ghost named Charlotte in her home in St. Charles growing up.
Wow. I can't wait to hear
her book is called Ghost on the Mississippi.
Perfect.
And
cannot wait.
Yeah, Megan said she wanted to be on our show. So on Friday, she'll be there as well. We're grateful for that. So anyway, we'll get into that too. Hope everybody had a great weekend. For everybody just jumping in on the show, maybe we'll do a dirty Christmas joke every day of the month. If it's Joe's just looking at me shaking his head like, I don't know about that. Okay. Why? Here's one for you. I heard this this morning. Why was the snowman so happy? Well, Vic, why? That's because he saw the snowblower coming down the street.
Oh my goodness. That is, you know what? I'm not going to say it on the air. I'll say it tomorrow, but Mary just private messaged me a really good joke. And ironically, I had said that joke
Why don't you
earlier.
Say it?
Well, because it's really kind of nasty.
Oh, and if Lizzie's saying something's nasty because you were already talking about, well, he could just have been getting it sucked up.
No, I just said a little kid could just think that there was a snowblower and it was coming to suck him up. That's what I said. You boys just got nailed.
Well, I don't know if you need to be talking about. I don't know. Now you're worrying me.
Yeah, I'll just wait. I'll say Mary's it tomorrow. Joke? I'll say the joke tomorrow. I'll say it tomorrow. So we have another nasty joke about Christmas and snow tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow.
Todd said he would rather see the snow blower than the snow plow truck. Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. Good point.
Yeah, we got it. Angie said you guys had a lot of listeners. You guys are part of the snow. This is the Snowcast. Live cast. That's what this is.
Yes, a live cast. And so we have a lot of listeners over in the UK.
That's right. We got listeners all over the country, all over the world, and specifically Missouri, Illinois, and the St. Louis metropolitan area. We're grateful for your guys' support. Yes, Mary, thank you for telling us that you sent that over there as well.
Yes.
Okay. We'll get the joke in right now. You guys are always free to send us your jokes, by the way. It is December.
Yeah, we need to say a joke.
Nativity season has begun.
Yeah.
Greg says, I haven't even read this, but I'm going to try. Here we go. Did you hear Santa and Mrs. Claus are getting a divorce? Oh, really? No. That's because he...
Okay, that was my joke. That was the same joke. But mine is, why is he getting a divorce? It's, why does he not have any children?
Yeah, because he only comes once a year down the chimney.
There you go. That was
Oh.
mine and Mary's joke, but he said
I like the snowblower better.
Yeah, because it's a little cleaner. Literally.
I know there's something in there about
Snowballs. 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 You know what? You could take a snowball and put it in your drink and use it for ice over the holidays. Have you ever done that, Vic?
A snowball?
Yeah, you take a snowball and then you put it in whatever your alcoholic drink is, and it just is, it's really kind of yummy. Just don't get the yellow snow. Just pick up white snow and put it in your drink.
You know what? I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Not with our environment. Not with all the shit that's out there.
That's right.
Ugh.
You could have a chemtrail ball.
Yeah.
And that would not be good.
A chemtrail ball.
You could.
Yeah.
In your drink.
Aaron says, now we know how these heathens chose Bad Santa as the best Christmas movie ever. And that is not the best Christmas movie ever.
No,
it wasn't the one that was chosen, but it was one that I picked.
Right.
Really?
Yeah,
I picked it as one of the picks for like the best Christmas movies.
Bad Santa?
Yeah, it was a great movie.
Yeah, but you guess what won, Vic? Because I know you didn't listen while you were gone. So what was the cancel this top picks #1 Christmas movie off the top of your head?
And it was Bad Santa?
No, it wasn't.
It shouldn't have been.
It wasn't.
Guess which one it was, though.
Guess which one? Do you think our listeners and Joe and I would like
No, I didn't hear that part. Hold on a second. I'm trying to think of the age of the audience and who would. Wait a minute. Was this just the?
This is ageless. This is an ageless.
But was this just the people who are the live listeners?
It was It was our top pick. It was all.
Okay, because most of the people,
all of us plus the listeners.
Okay, because most of the people who listen to the show aren't even on the chat line.
Correct.
So now I'm thinking of our chat line.
Yeah, you have to think of the chat line because
you already gave me a lifeline hint that but I wouldn't have thought it was Bad Santa anyway because anybody thinks that Bad Santa, Joe, is the best Christmas movie ever. It's crazy.
I thought it was a good one. It was one of like how many 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be the best. I mean, there's only one.
16.
No, there's only one. This
Right.
is too easy.
And which one is it?
It's Christmas Vacation.
Of course.
Boom. That's of course what it was. Of course,
it's the only one.
Correct.
And then
I also
funniest.
picked Die Hard.
Yeah, some people said.
And the funniest Christmas movie of all time, by far, I'm sorry, and I call it a Christmas movie, and I laugh throughout the whole damn thing, and I'll give you a quote, and you guys will get it.
Okay.
Here we go. Santa? I know him!
Yeah, we know. He
Elf, it was on the list, yeah.
It was on the list, for sure. Santa, I know him. That is really good, but it doesn't like float my boat like Christmas Vacation does. It's cute, no doubt about it, but it's still not, the shitter's full and all that kind of stuff.
Bendy said, I tried to watch Bad Santa last week and it's awful. See, I didn't think it was that good of a movie either. It lost me, Joe. I tried, but we all have different taste,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's like a masterpiece or anything, but it was still a good Christmas movie.
It's interesting because Glenn says It's a Wonderful Life. There's different genres too, different types.
For sure. Yeah, we could have broke it down funny, and then we could have broke it down animated, but we didn't.
But why did you guys do that in November?
I picked Die Hard and Gremlins.
We need to do this in December.
Well, we're going to be doing Christmas songs coming up too. We've got a bunch of that. Just happened to be the first one to kick off.
Maybe you could do Christmas songs this week. If I may need to be out again this week, maybe if Derek came back, maybe you guys could do songs.
That's the next one. So be thinking about it, everybody.
Hey, real quick. I know it's kind of been a weird show today so far. We're kind of getting going. Thursday night, 7:00. And here, I feel bad because we had so much going on. Lizzie or Joe, if you could help me, because I know I did not send it to you yet, but we have a link somewhere where people can let us know a head count of our holiday party.
There is a link.
1 year.
I'll look for it on the website.
Yeah.
1 year anniversary party this Thursday, 7 p.m. at Wenty's.
Of course.
The sooner you can get there, the better.
It's going to be fun.
7, I don't know. You can stay as long as you want. I mean,
you can just pop in and say hi and leave, or you can
say hi,
stay
take
for
pics,
several hours,
whatever,
eat, whatever you want to do. So when you get into Wenty's, if you've never been there, it's going to be like our show. The beginning when we had the kickoff show, it was in the front of Wenty's. This time it's going to be all the way in the back and kind of a bigger area.
Yeah, it's a heated patio too. The weather is supposed to be pretty decent on Thursday.
It's going to be great.
It's supposed to be a high of 61 on Thursday and sunny, believe it or not. But it'll be colder in the evening time, but that's a heated patio. I mean, people can be inside, they can be outside. We'll be all over the place there.
Angie said she's still waiting for you to send her the ticket to the UK so she can fly over here for the party.
Yep, that would be nice.
That would be great. That would be great.
So anyway, once again, that's Thursday. We appreciate everybody jumping in. Okay. if anybody else has questions, things of that nature, story ideas, interviews, ideas for interviews, let us know. We'll jump in that. We appreciate that. Trisha says, "Oh man, that's a 46-minute drive."
I know, because she lives out in Winfield now.
Well, we're a show. We're a show for the people everywhere,
and the food is worth it.
Yeah. And the company's going to be worth it. All of the listeners that come, it'll be worth it. Trisha, get in your Jeep and come on out.
And of course, we have people. Congratulations to Missouri, really quick too. Mizzou football, MIZZOU going to the Cotton Bowl. I believe that's December 29th. I think it was just 29th. They'll be playing Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. So I'm excited for my Missouri Tigers. Very, very, very excited about them. Yes. So one story, and here we go. Bud Light is doing everything they can. They're trying. They are trying really hard. And once again, people can like me, hate me. I've gotten ripped for it. I can back you on that, Vic. I've gotten those ideas as well. Bud Light, not only did they team up with the UFC to try to get the brand back, because the beer has not been bought yet. People are not purchasing yet. They're just not like they were, because we know they already tanked. Now, Bud Light has a commercial coming out, and I tried to find it. I could not find the commercial. If you ever find it, Joe, with Emmitt Smith and Peyton Manning. Those are two massive names from entertainment. First of all, from obviously the football world, Peyton Manning is super popular. Commercials. He's been in movies. Emmitt Smith has been in movies. They've done all kinds of things. So now they have been hired by Bud Light as spokespeople.
Wow. Okay.
So Bud Light realized what they did. They screwed up.
Yeah,
they went woke. They paid the price. The brand died, basically. Now they're trying to resurrect it, like the proverbial phoenix from its ashes, and they're trying to do it with big name people. They've planted the seeds with the UFC, which I think will start the turnaround. I do, in time. Because as we all know, it's far easier to crash something and to tear something down than it is to build something.
Absolutely.
When you try to build something up, it takes time. When
Especially
you try to
after it was crashed.
When you crash something down, much quicker, much easier. So now they're trying to build back. Joe has the commercial, which Bud Light is going to be running, I guess, with Emmitt Smith and Peyton Manning.
I think this is it anyway.
Okay. How you doing? All right.
What are you having?
2 Bud Lights, please. Actually, make it a round for the bar.
Round for the bar!
Here we go. Here we go.
Emmitt Smith? Touchdown!
All right, it's a terrific ad.
Yeah, that's a really good ad. It really is a good ad.
I couldn't imagine a better ad for Bud Light.
Yeah, that was good.
Now.
It's going to be really rough when people with head injuries start coming forward, because everybody's going to start throwing Bud Light cans in bars.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you throw a Bud Light in a bar, you're going to be kicked out.
Probably.
Probably.
Yes. I still think you're right, though. It's because the brand crashed. It's going to be a hard time to get it back where it was, if it ever is, because there's still a lot of people pretty upset with them. So, I mean, and there's other people that are like, okay, they're redeeming themselves, and others will not go back to drinking it.
Yeah, well, you got to remember who the brand was, and it was a mostly man brand. We already heard from the word. I mean, it was men drinking it.
Yeah.
A lot of workers, maybe blue collar. Most of the audience, as we saw, and they got turned off by the woke agenda. And of course, Bud Light refused to apologize, and they made it worse. And then next thing you know, they're dealing with this, but. In regards to them kind of admitting what they did wrong, they never apologize. But in life, so many of us want apologies.
Correct.
And I don't care what it is. And I've gotten over this. Because I used to feel like I was owed apologies.
Yeah,
for certain things.
I did too, and now I don't. I think just changed behavior is way better than an apology anyway.
It's yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Apology is winning the battle.
Correct.
Change behavior is winning the war.
Absolutely. Love
And
that.
you know, so they didn't do it, and whatever. Now they're trying. They realize people show you with actions. This is what's happening right now. So Bud Light got those two guys. Hey, UFC connection, big time, and it's hurting them because they're paying a ton of money.
Yeah.
Now they're going with Peyton and Emmett to see if they can restart the brand. We don't know if it's going to work, but if that commercial gets a lot of airplay, that's a damn good. It's because they're showing you, hey, it's all right to order a Bud Light in a bar. It's all right to say that because, as you heard, did the record literally like screech? He's like, yeah, give me 2 Bud Lights. Didn't everything go quiet and everybody looked at Peyton Manning
like what?
Oh, he just ordered a Bud Light.
Yeah.
What that shows me is that who's ever the creative team now with Bud Light, they're listening to what people are saying at bars, that people don't want to order a Bud Light. It's like something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with you if you order a Bud Light.
And you can imagine if you're in a bar and you're a very anti-Bud Light person, you may not drink it. But I think the majority of the people that are on the fence, that if a Peyton Manning or somebody, it doesn't even have to be that kind of person, the live of the party, comes in and they're just having a great time and buy a round for everyone, they're going to drink it.
Yeah, Susan says Bud always has, where they had some good commercials. Absolutely.
They used to.
I mean, Miller Lite was the best, tastes great, less filling, going all the way back to the 70s and 80s. Those were the best commercials ever.
Yeah, but Bud Light had the best campaign. I'm sorry. They've had several. The Was Up, the Frogs.
Yeah, they did.
Spuds
Aaron's
McKenzie.
right. Aaron, yeah, of course they're trying to pander to people.
Well, that's exactly what
Of course they are.
Yeah.
Because what is marketing?
Right. They pander.
Marketing 101 is pandering to people.
Absolutely.
We can use all sort of words that we want to use and, get into this and get into that. But that's what it is. It's pandering.
Yeah. My daughter works in marketing and she says it's all pandering. And they were pandering to the transgender movement. And now they're pandering back to the people who drink it. That's all marketing is a bunch of pandering. It's trying to get the people to buy their product.
Everybody panders. You pander, Aaron. You pander for Ron DeSantis every single day.
Sanctimonious.
Poor guy. And Aaron, I like you, Aaron, and I respect you because there has to be something good about you or strong about you to back a guy.
Yeah.
That just now he's bordering on third place. But I respect you, Aaron, because you got your guy. You're loyal.
Yeah, I like loyalty. I do. I like loyalty. And Aaron was saying
marketing is pandering. Thank you, Derek. That's what I'm saying. It just is.
And I get Aaron's point.
Life is pandering.
Doesn't seem authentic. So people want to be treated authentically.
That's what I was thinking. It doesn't seem authentic. It just seems like, okay, we're just going to go with the mainstream, because they went, they tried, they dipped their toe in the other way and they realized the water was way too frigid. So they pulled their toe back out and now they're going back to business as usual.
Correct. And there's still a lot of people that are very upset by that because they want to be treated.
People have quick memory loss.
A lot of people
Most
do.
people. And we got to remember, generalizations are very difficult to talk about.
True.
I still think it's going to take a while for Bud Light. But here's the thing in life. You plant seeds.
Correct.
And like I said, it's easier to tear things down. But when you plant the seeds and day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, it's just a matter of time. Yeah. It is, especially if you go to events and you go to places and Bud Light's back in there. It just takes time. Yeah. Of course, it's pandering, just like all markets pandering. It is.
Correct.
Glenn says, August Bush IV used to walk into a packed nightclub and say, for the next 30 minutes, anyone who orders a beer, offer them a Bud Light on me.
There you go.
August Bush IV. I've heard lots of stories with him.
Pandering marketing there too.
Circa 1989. So, I mean, Bud Light offered other people choices. Mm-hmm. People got choices. So now it's like it takes a little time. We'll see what happens. Do people come back if they're even drinking beer? But again, the UFC contract is big. Peyton Manning, Emmett Smith, that's a big deal too. The other thing I find interesting is Peyton Manning has enough money forever. He has enough money over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And he chose to do the ad. And Peyton Manning by no means is any sort of close to being liberal. Let's just put it that way. Okay.
Correct.
He is not.
That is true.
And he has made it clear in some of his comments as well. So he's jumping in, which I found was very, very interesting.
Yes.
Best Bud Light commercial was a farting horse. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember it.
Let me guess.
That one. It was probably a Clydesdale, I'm sure.
I figured because of your gross mind, sometimes, Joe, you would have remembered that.
Mind.
I want to say there's definitely something trickling in the back of my head, but I can't remember anything specific.
Trickling in the back of your head.
I don't know how to explain.
Here, let me give this side of it too, because we love the live aspect of this podcast when you guys jump in. Abe says, got to think. You're talking about people that are tired of being manipulated. They, being Anheuser-Busch or Bud Light's owners, made a conscious decision to stop drinking Bud Light. Wait.
No.
People. I don't think they'll get most people back just because of their ads. Well, guess what? You may be right, but you're for sure not going to get people back if you don't try.
Correct. And he's absolutely right, because there's a whole group of people, primarily America freedom-loving people, are absolutely tired of being manipulated. And so there's some people just on the principle of things are not going to go back and buy Bud Light. They're just not. And to be honest,
and I don't even know if it resonates, if people even care.
There's a lot of people that don't care, but those are the same people that don't care, doesn't mind that Joe Biden is the president, and doesn't mind they took 47 cupcakes in their arm. So keep in mind, there's that sect too. The people that have completely woken up, they're just tired of it all. They'll go into Total Wine or whatever and find something different than Bud Light. Yeah. I think the damage is way deeper than people think it is. But you're right, Vic. There are some people, they don't care. They don't have any allegiance to anything. They'll just go whatever is going on.
You know what I think would be the biggest thing that could happen for Bud Light is at one of these Trump rallies. Mm-hmm. You see Don Jr., who does drink.
Yeah,
Don Sr. doesn't.
Correct.
Pop open a Bud Light.
Correct.
Cheers!
Yeah,
they would pay him. Mm-hmm. That would get those people back.
I think that will get a lot of people back.
I think what they did was open a wound that's going to take a while to heal, and it's probably going to leave a scar.
I agree. Yeah.
There may be a little scar tissue, but guess what?
Sure.
Once again, if you don't try, you're going to die.
Correct. You got to at least try. You do. And you have to try for the workers.
And trying doesn't mean you're dying.
Correct. Yeah. And I think that's unfortunate. A lot of people, like CEOs and stuff, make bad decisions, and it affects the people who work there. So I did feel sorry I know a lot of people that work for Anheuser-Busch, and, there was people laid off due to it.
One could say that they FAFO'd.
There you go.
They could have. You're 100% right about that. Mm-hmm. Aaron said Don Jr. already said early on his podcast not to boycott Tranheiser and because they're big GOP donors. Yeah, we talked about that here on the show.
We have talked about that.
Because they give a lot of money. They do.
Correct.
They always give a lot of money even to those conservative causes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and there's just this whole big push for, and we've talked about it, we beat it to death in the woke agenda of pushing the Tranheiser type situation, and it's costing them.
Yep, they would. Hey guys, another topic coming up this week. I mean, I'm like, when does this stop? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be nasty to the people that support Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, but are you kidding me? Another debate this week?
Oh, stop.
There is it's like they just won't stop when you've already been doing this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Now, there's one thing which we were just talking about, if you don't try, but if you try and things get worse and worse and worse, okay, there may need to be a new strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're doing these new debates and everything for content, for reels, so they can have content.
Well, they can have content at their events. I don't know, but here's the problem: we got another. They're killing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The ratings for each debate go lower and
lower and lower.
And now this is bad for DeSantis.
It really is.
Because even if DeSantis beat, and I felt he did after I saw some excerpts, I didn't see the whole thing, destroyed Gavin Newsom, who is a weak man.
Yeah, he sure did.
I mean, once again, that's Eric's analogy of like the Dallas Cowboys beating up on the Francis Howell Vikings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this is not good for Ron DeSantis because
Correct.
he's in a neck and neck race now with Nikki Haley.
Right.
Some polls have Nikki Haley had, and by the way, none of this matters because it's all for a deep, distant second place.
Correct. Very.
And there are no points for second place in this race.
Nope. No points at all.
And because of it's like, why are we humans just get led around like sheeple. Correct. Oh, let's go over here. Oh yeah, we're going to watch this debate. Why are you watching?
Yeah, why are you watching it?
Now, DeSantis supporters and his, because we got good candidates, people need to know. I think people know by now.
Yeah. I think people who are in the know.
Unless something were to happen to big Donald Trump.
Correct. But even if he gets arrested and goes to jail and all that, he's still going to be the candidate. And he just is.
The debating has become a joke. I agree with you,
It
Trisha.
is a joke.
It's like once, twice, okay, seeing it. Now we had to see DeSantis a third time with Newsom.
Yeah.
This is all to try to put him and give him some sort of pedestal to try to compete with Trump.
Correct.
And it's not working. It's like all these attempts and these attacks, and these are attacks at Trump.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're backfiring.
They are. This is hurting him because Ron DeSantis was a true viable candidate after Trump gets elected again the next time. In 2028, I really believe he would have won in an easy election. But now there's all this debating and all this rhetoric and all this stuff now with Nikki Haley. It does him a disservice. I mean, there's so many people that kind of liked Ron before and thought this is great. We're going to vote for Trump. And then after that, it's going to be DeSantis. Those people no longer like DeSantis for whatever reason. I do still like him, but I have lost a little bit of the zing for him. I don't care. I just don't care.
I agree. Kevin says, I thought the debate with DeSantis and Newsom was good for one reason. It exposed gruesome.
That is very true. For
what he is, a far left, crazy liberal.
Correct. I think most of us already knew that.
But it didn't help Ron.
No, it did not help Ron. It didn't at all because those.
And I like him. I do.
I like Ron too. I do. It's just not his time, as I keep saying over and over and over. Ron, you need to back out. What would do Ron some good is to back out right now and support Donald Trump big time. Because you can see people that didn't support Donald Trump in the past, but now they do. He's reconciled with him. Donald Trump seems to have, a pretty forgiving heart and whatever.
Well, Trump even said that he thought the debate was good.
Yeah, he didn't say much
Trump
about it.
Trump did the best thing he could.
Yeah.
I mean, the best thing you can do is you see these two people who were lesser than you.
Correct.
And then you say, yeah, they did a good job.
They did a good job.
I mean, that was perfect. I mean, it was the perfect response from Trump. I went, man, is he brilliant? Yeah. Man, is this man just brilliant? Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
So these things are starting to hit. I'm like, really? Another debate, another debate, another debate.
Yes. I mean, and people are seeing a much bigger problem than the debates. They're seeing the decline and the degradation of our society. And Ron isn't there yet. Nikki is a warmonger. And so, and Newsom ruined California. Well, California already had its own issues, but it exacerbated that problem. People want somebody with a big cojones. And Ron, in his infinite wisdom, would be fine in 2028. Believe it or not, because we're political, we hear about Ron DeSantis. But do you know a lot of people, if you're just talking to the normal person that is going to vote for Donald Trump or is going to vote for, Biden, they don't even know who Ron DeSantis is. Do you know that? I mean, they don't even know who he is. They have no idea because they're not political. They're not listening to political shows. They're not listening to Fox. They're not listening to CNN. They're listening to The Bachelor and all that kind of stuff. And you say something about Ron DeSantis and they're like, who? Believe it or not, there's a lot of people don't even know who he is. It's just not his time yet. It's just not.
There's not going to be any. I think this is interesting to say. Todd said, well, the question is, when is Trump going to do a debate? He would do it against a Democratic candidate, but we already saw there. Trump and Biden will never have a debate.
No,
not after the debacle that they had.
No,
it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
And I don't think the Republicans, as we learned after the last debates, should ever do a debate again unless, and this is the problem, unless it was done by somebody who is anti-national media.
Correct.
That's the only way. That's the only way. Somebody who is not connected with any of the liberal networks. And I would even suggest somebody from Fox News not doing it either.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't. I just couldn't see that happening and being a good thing. It won't go over. Todd said who? Chris Cuomo. It's interesting. Chris Cuomo also said last week that he would consider voting for Trump now.
Do you believe that? I mean, I
do believe
that.
I do believe
You believe that
because he followed it up with how bad Biden has been.
Well, that's true.
And how stupid Biden. He didn't say stupid, but how weird he looks. How just lost he looks.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been saying it for a long time.
Yeah.
However, he's saying it as well. We're starting to see some really bad. Just now starting to.
I believe that he just now does see it because he's been so blinded by the BS. I mean, it's just, and in one aspect, he's blinded by the BS and he's part of it.
Yeah, it's just the debates are not, it's just not a good thing. It's just more, once again, it's an opportunity for networks to try to make some money.
Yes.
Try to sell some advertising, try to get some money in, despite the ratings going, because they're crashing.
Yes.
They're crashing and falling fast. That's what's happening when it comes to all the debates. It will be interesting. I'm just waiting to see what's the next, because there's always so much crap that's going on.
Yeah.
We get hit from every direction with all kinds of situations. So here's the deal. One final question for us, Lizzie, from the chat line from Aaron. Honest question. Do you guys believe a bunch of liberals hopping on the Trump train is a good thing? BLM, now Cuomo, I don't even know what that means.
Well, I'm guessing what he's saying is now these liberals are going to jump on the Trump train. I don't know if they are or they aren't going to, but this is what I said, and I've said it numerous times. I do believe in redemption, and there's a lot of liberals or even establishment type conservatives, or I wouldn't even call them conservatives, more Republicans, are now saying, what the heck?
What redemption from what? Voting Democrat?
Yes. If you vote Democrat, you need redemption. You do. Because you're a dumbass. And so God can forgive you when you
or
vote
at least
for
Biden.
somebody else. Correct. Well, really. I understand the people who voted for Obama. I didn't. I'm just going to make that clear. I knew from the get-go he was a Muslim that hated our country. But I can forgive that because the people aren't as, political, and they were promised better insurance and all that. But right now, if you are voting for, even if you voted for Biden the last time, you do need redemption because you are okay with allowing our country to go to hell in a handbag.
And here's the thing I agree with Bendy on. A vote is a vote.
A vote is a vote.
Who cares?
That's exactly right.
Do you really think
that
liberals are going to make Donald Trump liberal?
No.
No, they just know that, holy shit, look at our choices. We may be a united party. We may not fight. We may give out lots of money to our liberal podcast, our liberal TV shows. We have each other's back. We're a united team where the Republicans are in disarray.
Correct.
The only thing that isn't in disarray in the Republican Party, I'm sorry, from a national standpoint, even a local standpoint and state standpoint, sometimes we see all the infighting in Missouri.
We do.
Is the top of the food chain.
Correct.
Donald Trump is a grounded individual.
Mm-hmm.
That man, that's the one thing the Republican Party has. You have a dominant candidate, a super dominant candidate, and that's why there's some sort of hope.
Correct.
But you see what the left being a united team has done, and he has had to go through. Nobody could have ever imagined, and no candidate has ever had to go through what he's had to go through.
Absolutely.
And even Democrats notice it.
Yes.
And they give credence to what is going on. So you have that going on for you.
Yeah. Well, and so many people I'm hearing the same sort of faction of people in the Republican Party are like, I'm not going to vote for Donald Trump right now because he's got so much baggage. And I want to shake them and go, the baggage is because of what the Democrats have done and the Republicans that are just afraid of him airing their dirty laundry and are butthurt like Romney that didn't get elected and that sort of a thing. There is no way in the world if the Republicans banded together, Trump would ever lose, or a Trump-like candidate would ever lose again.
We already know some of that stuff's going on. Not getting off subject, just real quick to answer your question. Todd says, when can Missouri, for those of our national listeners, depending upon what state you live in, you have different rules, but he wants to know when Missouri is going to get rid of the personal property tax. It's not going to happen anytime soon.
No, it's not.
I promise you, if ever.
And here's why.
And this has been going on. I did my first story with Bill Eigel on this.
Mhm.
He did his first story with me. He kind of broke the news with me, at least from a media standpoint, about 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
6 years ago? It's been a long time. 5, 6. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, and I thought this is great. And then I got some inside word from Jeff City, and I was told, Vic,
Yep.
it's nice. It sounds nice.
Yes.
But it's never going to happen. And I can't
Correct.
reveal those sources who told
Well,
me
and
it's
I
never,
have the same sources too.
who said
And
that
they
it's
say
never going to happen.
Never. Well, legislatively, it can't happen, Vic, because the first thing they have to do is repeal a different type of a tax, like an income tax. So if you're saying, I'm just going to go into Missouri and I'm going to get rid of personal property tax, the Missouri Constitution doesn't even allow you to do that. You have to work on getting rid of income tax, then personal property tax. That's why it's never going to happen. So you can promise it, and it's a great campaign slogan, but it's not going to happen legislatively. So that's a real bummer.
I brought that up with Bill Eigel when he was here for an interview. I'm like, well, I'm told that it's never going to happen. He's like, well, I'm not going to agree with that. We're going to wait and see. He's like, we got to push the issue. So whatever. That's another issue, not to get too far off track from where we are right now with what's happening in the state and, of course, what's happening in the country. But the other part of the political side, which I was wanting to bring up, is guess who's polling extremely well? I didn't even tell you about this in the pre-show notes.
Yeah. Who?
I just remembered it popped in my brain. Kristi Noem.
Oh, good.
I saw
Yeah.
a report where when it comes to polling and national polling
Mm-hmm.
of Republicans and likely voters, she came in highest of the list.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's why it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because she's been somewhat, I don't want to say quiet, but she's kind of just gone about her job.
Yeah. Which is good. She's
And
doing her
become
job.
arguably the most popular governor in the country when it comes to rate her
Absolutely.
favorability rate in her state. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, it's a smaller state. Her favorability, if you have great favorability with any large number of people in 2023, my God, you've got something good going on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the announcement.
Yeah.
Now we're getting ready to head into 2024,
Mm-hmm.
11 months from an election. When is Donald Trump going to make her his VP?
I think it would be beautiful.
Because she will accept.
She will accept.
And the ticket is born.
Yep. There it is. Yeah. I don't know that it makes any liberal jump on the bandwagon, but I think it makes people that are conservative or Republican on the fence jump on that. I think it's a very good choice. And anything's better than Mike Pence, the spineless little weasel.
Robert reminds us as I bring that up, she's also been hooking up with Corey Lewandowski, Trump's 2006 campaign manager.
Yep, that's
Robert on this show, because of innuendo, what do you mean by hooking up?
Oh, I don't think there's hooking up.
I know. I was just messing with him.
But I mean, well, I wouldn't know that for sure, but I'm guessing that Robert's saying just, joining forces.
Glenn, in my humble opinion, I do not think Sarah Huckabee Sanders would be a good pickup. I could see. You
think it would be or
no,
it wouldn't be?
No, not
Why
from
not?
a national standpoint, because she has upset a lot of people already too.
Yeah.
And because of her name. I just don't, and I like her a lot.
I do too. I like her a lot too. But yeah, I don't even think that's an option, only because she was with him and then she left. And I understand why she left, but I think there's something to be said for that.
I'm sorry to laugh over you, Lizzie. Robert says, Vic, I'm talking about snow blowing.
Uh-huh. Well, if you heard the earlier joke at the beginning of the show, you'll know what that means.
Why was the snowman so happy and with a big smile on his face? Because he saw the snowblower coming down the street.
So I guess he's
really? I had not heard that.
I hadn't either.
Robert, that is quite salacious.
Yeah. Glenn says they were shopping for snowblowers together, apparently.
Because if that is the case, I know she's married.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So that would totally just fizzle out.
Correct. I think that would fizzle out because I think a lot of evangelicals then would have a problem with it.
She's an attractive lady.
She's very pretty.
And she's all of a sudden gotten in shape like in the last few years. I follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, she's pretty.
And she has really started to work out hard. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Robert, shame on you for starting that up if that stuff isn't true.
Right.
You bad person, you. What the hell are you thinking?
Right. He's starting that up. Well, he also says Donald Trump is dead. So I'm not sure how they could be snowblowing together if he's dead. So there you go. There's that.
And she's not a Palin. She's way more politically savvy than, of course.
Correct. I very much like Sarah Palin, but you know what? Sarah Palin might have been a better, more savvy situation if her presidential candidate, John McCain, didn't throw her under the bus. John McCain threw her under the bus.
She is hardly Lauren Boebert 2.0. I know why you're saying that because of the quote rumor that Robert said. No, she's intelligent. She's actually been leading a state extremely successfully.
Yeah. She was only made to look like a bimbo by the left and by John McCain. That's who did that. She's actually a very intelligent person.
Who?
Sarah Palin.
No, I'm not talking about Sarah. I'm talking about Kristi Noem.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, she did too, though. That would apply.
Yeah.
Kristi's ratings are super, super high.
Yeah, she's great.
Their state's doing very well. One of the lowest unemployment rates in the country as well on top of it all. Mm-hmm. Yep. Robert, here you go. You started it. It's not a conspiracy theory Friday, Lizzie, but you see, Robert also reminds all of our viewers and listeners across the country and across the world that Donald Trump died in February of 2002 of prostate
2022.
2022.
Per the UNN. I don't know that
That's his favorite news network, by the way. I want to give a shout out. He sends me links and I watch it and it's good.
And there's a lot of good things on the UNN, but there's a lot of things also that it seems conspiratorial. I'm not saying they're true or they're not true, but I'm from Missouri. You have to show me the data, not data you made up or not data that somebody's cousin's uncle's brother said, because I can make up a lot of good stuff too and say that it's fact. But people that I know very well that go to Mar-a-Lago quite often and are very friendly with him says that that's the same Donald Trump and he's alive and well. So if that's not true and he really is dead, they really made a good replica of him down there in Florida.
Yeah, I don't think Donald Trump died in 2022.
I don't either.
But like I said, at the same point in time, I would be open to believing that there's two Donald Trumps.
I think there is.
As I've told you, because I've talked about it here and I've talked about it previous shows, there's no doubt in my mind I saw two different sized Donald Trumps when it came to their height. Not weight, which can be put on and lost.
Correct.
But height. Mm-hmm. So I have to give it up. Man, it's bizarre. First of all, this is cancelthisshow.com. We're appreciative of everybody that listens and watches. We appreciate your input. It's a live cast. That's what makes the podcast go, is the fact that we have a lot of live interaction from people all over the country. We broadcast live out of the St. Louis metropolitan area as well, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central. And of course, you can catch us all the time outside of the live cast on cancelthisshow.com. You can go to any platform. We have several platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, Rumble. You know what I thought was interesting? Kelly, who's a social media influencer, Kelly Mano, who comes in on Fridays, she didn't know what Rumble was. She had never heard of Rumble. And I'm like, who knows? Maybe it's another opportunity for you, because she has been so massive on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook that and TikTok. She had no idea what Rumble was. A lot of people, the only people that really get on Rumble. So if we have Rumble listeners, they are ones that are, are politically kind of surprised engaged. Me, it surprised me too. But I was like, oh, you're making too much money on all this stuff to even look. She's like, yeah. Because YouTube is the biggest paying out service. Yes,
well, I think Rumble is more of like a safety net for people who have shows like ours.
Correct.
And that's why it's inundated. It's saturated.
Right.
Yes, it is. Because it only has shows exactly
It's like an echo chamber.
It is an echo chamber. Yeah. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I sure like an echo chamber of being around conservatives. But to give the whole picture, you have to know both sides. You just do, because you have to know what you're up against with the left and the dumbasses. So you really have to know what's going on.
Yeah, that's true. Aaron reminds us, Kelly hasn't had a cancel attempt aimed at her either.
Correct.
Yeah, because it's comedy.
Correct.
It's fun. It's comedy. It's easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That when I was a sports anchor and sports reporter, it's easy. And I got bored. I mean, I was literally, when my bosses in Detroit said, we want you to be our main news anchor years down the road. We want you to start doing morning news. And I'm like, they're like really worried. Like, we know this is like a bit, I'm like, I'm in right now because because it's so difficult sometimes when you're something that's so easy. I guess it just depends on the individual.
Yeah.
I was like, the sports stuff is so easy and mundane. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, you're right. Kelly hasn't, and it's going well for her, and it makes her happy, and she is doing quite well. And I repeat, quite well financially.
Yeah, she's doing
from the
wonderful
content that she is producing.
And it's so funny. It really is. It's so funny.
But anyway, she said she hadn't, but you can check out our website. You can check out our platforms to watch our show whenever and wherever. And of course, share them with people. That's how we grow as well. If you like all those, you've given it may seem easy and mundane, but if you like the stuff, it helps. If you like each of the platforms that you're listening on, it all helps us, and it helps us to grow as well. And that's how we continue to stay here. You can check out our merchandise page as well at cancelthisshow.com. We have hats, we have shirts, we have Cancel This Coffee, all those certain items for you to do. Great time. It's Christmas time. It's holiday time. Even some of the shirts that are comedy, they can be gag gifts for people as well. We talk about that, if you have that.
Yeah. Buy your friend that has a Black Lives Matter sign still in their yard, the shirt that says Donald Trump Lives Matter.
Yeah.
That would be a great gift for them.
Yeah, you could mail it to them.
Absolutely. Or better yet, do it with a rob your neighbor type thing. And when they open the gift, they have to do something with their
And just some really cool hats. I mean, the Cancel This hats are just, they're badass hats. The Cancel This Coffee is really good. Anyway, we have those opportunities for you as well. You can do that there. We also love it when you guys have ideas for stories, ideas for guests. We love it when you guys donate. We have donate button on our website, cancelthisshow.com. Anything helps to keep things going. That is a fact, especially when it comes to the party Thursday night. If anybody wanted to donate anything for that, we would certainly put that to use. When it comes to food and or drink, we are grateful for that as well. Also, for our advertisers and our sponsors who make everything possible, Amini's in the Chesterfield Valley, they are with us. We are grateful for everything that they're doing. Check out their sauna. They've got their saunas and their saltwater hot tubs are absolutely amazing. And this isn't just from a standpoint anymore of luxury. This is about your health. And we have links at cancelthisshow.com. Literally go to cancelthisshow.com, click on partners, and then you see all of our partners. And we have links that take you right to their sites where it makes sense and it's easy for you to check out, get quotes. And any of these items that you may need or you're looking to buy, if you buy through them, let them know from Cancel This. They know that it helps us. And of course, it helps you from that standpoint as well. Experienced real estate partners, Kathy Hilbig Strict, Steve Strict, and of course, their side company, New Age Health and Wellness. Right now, Realty. If you're looking to do anything in Realty, if you have any questions, no strings attached, call them. Let them know you're from Cancel This. They'll take care of you. They'll give you the advice you need. There's no pressure. You're not going to find anybody who knows more about the mortgage industry and the real estate industry than their team of Kathy and Steve. There's no doubt about that. Hey, if you want a discount when you're looking for cannabis products, go to Route 66 Dispensary. Tell them you heard them on Cancel This. cancelthisshow.com. You're going to get a discount. You're going to get some of the best products that you're going to find. Ostar, if you can't get into a Route 66 store, their Ostar products are in hundreds of stores all across the state of Missouri. Solar City STL. If you've thought about renewable energy, if you've thought about the panels, any of that nature, now is the time. Check it out. They've got amazing deals. Solar City STL does their own installations as well. They take care of it. That is a huge deal right now. Contact Justin's team. If you use a lot of energy, if you want to get off the grid and rely on yourself, that's where you want to go. Strategic Air Services, where we broadcast live out of. the premier private transportation providers in all things aviation, from aircraft management to concierge services and acquisition. They're also looking for pilots all the time and people to work with the planes, pulling them in and out as they get ready to take off. WeQuip Services, a peer-to-peer rental marketplace where renters can go to search for items that they need that their neighbors might not have. You just never know. Go in there, check it out. The site's really, really cool. And of course, Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, where we're going to be doing our party come up Thursday night. Have we gotten tired of, or are we grateful that we don't hear about Zelensky anymore?
Yeah, I'm kind of tired of hearing about him, but I hear his name came back up again.
Well, no, he kind of went silent.
Yeah, he sure
Ukraine went silent since kind of the end of September, beginning of October.
Correct.
It was already starting to go quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the situation with Israel and Hamas blew up. And then Zelensky wanted to be a part of it. He wanted to go to Israel, and Israel would not let. Netanyahu said, no, it's not the time. Don't call us, we'll call you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that started to happen. And what I find interesting now is the White House has actually come out and said that they're running low on funds for Ukraine.
Of course they are.
I'm like, this all of a sudden came out. I'm like, what happened there? I mean, I'm like, the White House is actually saying that there's not a desire for money for Ukraine anymore.
Right. It served its purpose for the Uniparty right now.
Either that or we're in that much trouble to where we really don't have any money left.
Could be a little bit of both, but I think Ukraine lost its usefulness to the Uniparty.
And that's when it's like, where is everybody on that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they're still packaging some money when they package up for the Hamas-Israel war. They're still trying to package that all in there.
And then Vitaly Klitschko, championship heavyweight boxer, super popular fighter for many years from Ukraine, he went back and he ran for mayor. So he's mayor of Kiev. Very, very popular name. You probably heard about that when the fighting began. He has now come out and he took pictures with Zelensky when all of this started. Zelensky was right there because we know what Zelensky is. Zelensky is not somebody who was caring about the people. We already know that.
Yeah, we know that.
We saw his wife shopping, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in New York while the war is going on.
Yeah.
We've seen the videos of the nightclubs and the partying going on. We were told by some guy who came in here, oh no, it's terrible. And I'm like, dude, we've seen the videos of Ukraine. People are living and loving life. It's not a war-torn country. There's some areas. Vitaly Klitschko has now come out and compared Zelensky to Putin. And this is a massive, the worst guy that Zelensky could have ripping him publicly is Vitaly Klitschko, because he's one of the most popular guys in Ukraine. Number one, he was a championship fighter. He was one part of the Klitschko brothers who brought the country fame as they gained their fortune through boxing. And then he has now come out and ripped Zelensky, comparing him to Putin for how he has handled things, for how he has gone off the path, how he has mismanaged money, and how he's corrupt.
Absolutely. I'm glad some people are coming out and saying something about it because we already knew how corrupt he was, but it's amazing how many who didn't.
So from what I know, credit to Vitaly Klitschko for saying this.
Yes.
Because, I mean, it takes people like that who have so much you can't cancel them.
Correct.
You can't cancel Vitaly Klitschko because he's that popular in the Ukraine. But what does it say about Zelensky that Klitschko is now coming out after him?
Correct. Doesn't say much for him, does it?
And that war has just kind of gone to the side, hasn't it, since Israel?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, what do we make of that?
Yeah. Well, we all know that it was a proxy war anyway. We already know that. And I really, truly believe that it worn out its welcome, so to speak. They got out of it what they wanted. They laundered the money that they intended to do that. Now they can be on to something else with Hamas and Israel. And they're creating a ruckus all over the world, and particularly here in the United States, where they have, again, the Antifa types coming around and ruining parades and wrecking our celebrations. So that's what the uniparty propaganda machines are doing now.
Well, he made these remarks about Zelensky in an interview that he did with a German news website. And he said the problem is what he sees now. And maybe people jumped on the Ukraine bandwagon in the beginning because that's what Americans do. Mm-hmm. Oh, our heartstrings get pulled. Instead of holding back and making sure we understand every single detail, let's pull on the heartstrings. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, let's wear a blue and yellow flag because this is what everybody does.
Yes.
It makes us feel good. You can't trust much of anything anymore.
You can't.
You have to really, really tiptoe and make sure before you jump into deep water.
Correct.
Klitschkov says that Ukraine is now becoming an authoritarian country.
Mm-hmm.
He is calling Zelensky an authoritarian. This is big. I mean,
it is big.
I mean, he's like, wait a second, something's wrong. This isn't adding up what's happening. He said, quote, at some point, we will no longer be any different from Russia, where everything depends on the whim of one man.
Yes.
A dictatorship,
mm-hmm.
an authoritarian. And then he also says that Zelensky's office is not listening to mayors like himself in Kyiv instead of doing everything on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Says they don't want to hear it. He's going to control every single thing. One man is going to be in charge of that. That's the problem. That's where it gets into communism. And the other thing about Klitschko is he's been the mayor since 2014. And he's got super popularity. But now he says that Zelensky and he haven't even spoken to each other since Russia invaded now, that there's a problem between them.
Right.
So they've had a problem for a while since he went after Zelensky for the condition of emergency shelters at 2, saying, where's all the money that's coming into this country going? It wasn't going to help the people. That's why you have to be careful when everybody comes around with the Ukrainian flag. Oh, we're collecting money, or oh, we're collecting money to send to Hamas rebels. Oh, we're collecting money to send to Israelis bombed. Be careful. Just be careful. And it's sad. I mean, I always think twice now if I'm at a drive-through or you're at the grocery store, because they're always, you want to round up?
Yeah.
Sometimes
Do you round up?
I said round up to what? I don't anymore. No.
Yeah. I used to round up if it was a cause that I would have donated to anyway. But most of them aren't. Most of them are some ambiguous.
And we don't know where that money is going.
We don't know.
And we don't know who's in charge of it.
Correct. We don't know where.
And I'm all about charity, but you've got to be careful about what you're actually. I'm curious if anybody does that. At first, I was like, oh yeah, it's a good idea. But then I'm like. Then I started to see service workers because, and with all due respect, it's what's happened. The service industry sucks in America.
Yes.
And it sucks in the St. Louis area. And most of the people working are younger people that just don't give a damn.
Right.
You want to round up? I'm like, well, you can round up for Children's Hospital. I'm like, what?
Which Children's Hospital?
Yeah. And it's like, what?
The first time I know, the Walgreens where they had the big nose thing. It's like the red nose. I don't remember what the charity
It's not the place to be donating.
Correct. Well, when you researched that company, it was so vague on where they donated it, and every one of them would have been a liberal cause.
Yeah, I would suggest at the Ronald McDonald's house, I mean, my opinion, no. I don't think it's smart to do it that way. And they do it because it seems easy. Oh, 20 cents here, 60 cents there,
Correct.
Each customer.
Correct.
Yeah, maybe we can get it there. And then most people are like, oh, who cares, 60 cents?
Well, the Ronald McDonald house.
It makes you feel good.
Right.
Oh, I'm doing something good. But do you really know what you're doing good for?
Right.
Because somebody tells you that. Do you trust that?
I don't know.
Do you trust it's all going to go to where it's supposed to go?
No. And she's right. Lori's right that the Ronald McDonald House is a wonderful organization, but you're better off writing a $10 check than the coins each time, because it does not always get to the Ronald McDonald House. They do write checks, meaning McDonald's does do that, but you don't know if it's your money that went there. A lot of times I'm hearing that it's a good tax write-off and they use that money for a tax write-off. So, I mean, the whole thing is really suspect.
Lori says I round up at McDonald's for the Ronald McDonald House.
Correct. And that's what I was, referring to, is that is a wonderful organization. It really does help families that has a child or a family member that is got a chronic long-term illness. And so it's housing for them, but you're better off writing a check, because McDonald's doesn't always have the wherewithal of where the money came in from. Because
but how do you know but how do we know everything that's going on with the Ronald McDonald House too, though?
We don't. I
guess you'd have to look it up, right?
Well, yeah, you have to definitely look it up. And they are a good organization. I know if you look in the city of St. Louis, there's 3 right now, Ronald McDonald houses, with another one being converted, and it's pretty. So you have to get that money from somewhere. So McDonald's is the one sponsoring those houses, or the people that has donated to them. So it is a good cause, but I'm total agreement with you, Vic. It's when you round up, there's a vague area of where that goes. The company can use that at their discretion. And so even Ronald McDonald, I'd be real careful. Write a check to them if you want, because they are one of the good ones. But I don't know that I would round up any more at a restaurant or through a drive-through, and certainly not at Walgreens.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's just, and what took me to that again? I can't remember.
Well, we were just in general, just talking about how we went from Zelensky and talking about all that money, and then how even our own money here in the United States, money's tight. Heck, I mean, money is...
You just have to be careful about that stuff.
You do. There's so much corruption. And I think it's sad for some of the charities that really do. They really round up. They're really doing something good, that we distrust almost everyone.
I think the point of what you bringing that up is where your money actually goes when you give to these charities.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Correct. And there's just so much going on with our money already that just isn't good. Just isn't good.
I'm curious if anybody hears or deals with something, because it's, I mean, I guess most places could use it. I mean, they could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. The first time I heard it, I was like, oh, I don't know if that's a good idea. But I did it. It was at Schnucks. I can't remember what it was for. But anyway, that's that. I just don't think it's a great... I'm just not doing it anymore. It's hard for me to trust everything.
I know. And I've done it a lot. We've done it a lot.
Even if it's 10 cents, it's just like, really? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah. I get it. I see where you're going with that. Anyway, canceltheshow.com. Pro Joe running the boards, making sure we're looking good to sound as we can. You hear him occasionally. Lizzie Sparks here. I'm Vic Faust. That's what's happening from the Ukraine standpoint. Just keep watching that if funds go out, because it's a never-ending war. And a month and a half ago, the man in charge of the battlefields, all the battles for Ukraine, said this is, quote, an unwinnable, quote, war.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
It's unwinnable. He's like, it's a standstill.
Yeah.
Which means it's a massive money grab. So just remember that. Just remember that. Who's trying to do what when it comes to voting, and who's trying to send more money if they are. We still have a massive problem with the Middle East. In the midst of all the news that comes in and out and days that go by, did you remember or realize that there's still 8/9 Americans who are still being held hostage?
Yes. Yes. So sad.
Still, this happened October 7th.
Mm-hmm. And we still don't.
This is December 4th, 8 to 9. And because the ceasefire is over, by the way, and Israel says they're going to continue to hunt down the leaders of Hamas for infinity. They said it now. We'll find them. We'll get them after what they did October 7th. Mm-hmm. They're like, you cannot forget what happened October 7th. And just go, oh, let's just stop. Well, the ceasefire stopped, according to John Kirby, because, and of course, he's the National Security Council spokesperson. He says that Hamas is the reason that the temporary ceasefire with Israel agreement that ended, because, and he did this interview yesterday. He said that the problem is Hamas, and the reason is because they refused to put on their list the additional women and children that we know they are holding and they're refusing to let go.
Yes.
We're working literally by the hour to see if we can get this back on track. It's been a disaster from the Biden administration's deal from the get-go, and here we are still. So there was a week-long ceasefire that it expired Friday, but it was supposed to release, dozens, I don't know why not all, of the 240 Israelis and foreign hostages in exchange for Palestinians that Israel had. Well, Israel called its negotiators home, and Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister, committed the Israeli Defense Force to removing Hamas from power in Gaza and said, we're going to do it. So that ceasefire is over now. The problem is the fact that the U.S. military is trying to aid in this situation, at least according to Kirby. But you've still got 8 to 9 American hostages, including one woman who they still don't know where her whereabouts are.
Right. They don't even know.
They don't know where she is, what's going on. She is missing. They can't find her, and they won't tell her, and they won't tell the Americans anything about it. That's why I'm sorry when you have Americans who this happened to, why a ceasefire was ever even promoted from the standpoint of the American side. This is a dirty, nasty area, and you can't solve this issue while making everybody happy. It's not going to happen. Then, of course, you're going to have people who support Hamas pulling on the heartstrings and saying, well, innocents are now being killed. Well, guess what? Your country has supported Hamas, and you haven't done anything about it. You can say, now, granted, there are people who are Palestinian who are refugees who don't support Hamas. That's important to remember. But there are far more Palestinians who do support Hamas. You have to somehow protect those who don't.
Yes.
But go after Hamas. And the problem is Hamas is taking innocents. But guess what? If Hamas takes innocents, and you have to have a plan to take care of them, or you're going to get destroyed over time. They win.
Right.
It's not easy. It sucks.
No, it's
horrible.
It does suck. The whole thing sucks.
Greg says yes, and they have now found over 800 tunnels even to that hospital.
Yes.
Well, of course we know that.
We knew that. And
remember that the Iranian people voted for Hamas. They are allowing Hamas leadership into their country. They are allowing that. So anyway, you still have, and it pisses me off to even talk about this, 8 to 9 American hostages still being held. And we're going into 2 months later in just a few days.
Yep. Like Mary says, cockroaches like to hide.
Yeah, well, yeah, they are. I mean, cockroaches is a compliment to Hamas.
Right. You're right. That's probably too nice of a word, for sure.
But 8 to 9. So don't let that get lost. 8 to 9 American hostages still being held. And, we have a bunch of talking heads in Washington not taking care of anything. But you know what? You go after whoever you have to go after to get our American hostages back, because what's happening is absolutely insane in 2023. Do we think anything would have been different if Trump was president?
Yes.
What could he or his administration been able to do, I wonder?
Well, I don't even know exactly what he would have done, but he would definitely be talking to those leaders and telling them that if you do anything like that, then we're going to come and get you. But the thing of it is he would not have probably intervened with with Zelensky and Putin. But when it comes to Israel, he would defend Israel. I mean, they're one of our allies. It's scriptural. But that all being said, we wouldn't even be in any of this.
He wouldn't have financed everything like
correct
Biden did.
Yeah. That's
financed what? What are you guys talking about?
Financed the war.
All the money.
Sent all that money to Ukraine. That wouldn't have happened.
No. I'm talking about Israel.
And he sent money. Didn't he send money to Israel? And that's when all this started.
No, well, yeah. Well, we gave an aid package, but the problem is the aid package that we gave to Gaza, but Gaza is controlled by Iran,
and it basically bought them all the weapons to fund them.
And Hezbollah.
Correct.
So that would have never happened under Trump.
No, you're absolutely right.
I think
None of that funding would have happened.
That would make sense.
None of it. You're right. none of it would have happened. It wouldn't have happened in the first place. I mean, the very thing that the left kept saying is Trump is going to, drop the big old bomb on people. And we're going to be in so many wars. We weren't in any. And now look what's happening under Biden. But we already all knew that. We knew that that was all happening. And in the last 3.5 years, it has also escalated all the drama and the crisis happening to our own children here in the United States. I mean, there's so much stuff going on that Biden is part of pushing it. Or I should say the Biden administration is pushing. That's what they're doing. I mean, there's so much that is going on overseas, but there's so much here in our own state and our own city, everywhere that is being pushed by this nasty administration. It's just awful.
Well, it pains me to say that there's 8 to 9 Americans still missing.
Yes.
Biden, it's not good enough. When you're the leader, it falls on you.
Absolutely.
That is not good enough. You can't do that. Something has to change. And right now, that is your fault. That is your problem. And that's another lack of leadership. By the way, you guys are, that's right, the $6 billion to Iran.
Yep.
The $6 billion. And I'm assuming the $6 billion to Iran wasn't that correct me if I'm wrong, Megan, if you're still listening. I thought the $6 billion to Iran was an Obama deal.
Well, this all started with Obama.
I thought Obama gave $6 billion to Iran as he was leaving office.
Correct.
In one of his last, out the door deals.
Yes.
Sup, see you later.
But it's the same administration. I mean, it is. And that was, a lot of people didn't even know that happened. A lot of conservatives didn't even know it was happening. But on his way out, that's what he did.
And then if you think about this, we would have never left Iraq like we did.
Correct.
And we would have never left all the weapons and everything.
That's right. Yeah, the money. That's right. Biden unfroze the $6 billion. That's right. I remember now.
We also would have never left all those weapons behind to weaponize this war.
Correct.
Well, yeah, and there's rumors that some of those weapons made its way to the Middle East.
Oh, I have no doubt in my mind.
I know, but in this day and age, you have to prove a lot of it. But
You do. And like Lisa's saying on the chat line, a plane flew out with pallets of cash to Iran, pallets of it. And that was something like nothing to see here, and tried to lie about it at first. So, I mean, it's just a travesty that we're even talking about this. It really is. That this is what our own leaders are doing to our great land.
Well, it's not our leaders. We already know. We've talked. It's Joe Biden knows nothing of what's going on.
True.
He doesn't. And that's why you try to figure out who is making the calls, who is taking over, who is planning whatever next is.
Yep.
And of course, it's the same people who have attacked Donald Trump and made him the icon that he's become.
Of course.
And that's where we sit today, while you still have 8 to 9 American hostages who should be talked about on a daily basis on any network, bringing it back up. If you ever take in any news, let us know. Are they talking about the hostages that are still out there? Let me know if people are still talking about it, because it's not something that, in my opinion, is being talked about enough.
Not very often.
It's like, sorry,
much.
we can't do anything about that. But you already know this is what's happening in this country. And while I know that a lot of people who at least chime in on the live part of this podcast know what they're talking about are educated, most Americans don't care about news.
They don't.
They don't care about headlines, because once again, things are too good. Things have to get bad before people will care. You have to lose everything before you try to get it back. And that's unfortunate. It's part of the process of working hard to obtain things, and then what comfort brings, which is why you have to have obstacles. I remember I heard something when I was a kid growing up, as I was getting into high school. Sylvester Stallone said that if it wasn't for me and my wife, we create obstacles for our kids. Now, they've become more popular recently with some reality TV shows, but Stallone said, I'm creating it right now, because if I don't, my son is going to grow up rich, spoiled, not appreciate that you have to work for things, and will never accomplish anything in his life. And
he's right.
And I've seen that many times, where people, not all the time, I didn't come from money, but I have friends who came from money. But I'm going to tell you, some did great and had that motivation, but many more did not.
Right.
So what I've compared this situation to is, if things are easy for you your whole life, why are you going to care about politics?
You won't care.
We're also conditioned by, quote, society. What do people always say? 2 things you shouldn't talk about?
Religion and politics.
Religion and politics.
And that's the 2 things you've got to
Why
talk
not
about
talk
today.
about religion and politics?
You've
If
got
you
to.
do it in a people, oh no. We just let's be nice. Let's talk about, let's talk about sports, or let's talk about gambling, or let's talk about comedy or music. Things
It's
that
just
we all
too polarizing right now.
because I'm
We
telling you,
can't talk
here's the
about
problem. If you don't talk about it,
it.
then nothing's ever discussed. Ever easy. Let's take the candy. Iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
Cotton doesn't sharpen cotton.
Right.
Being a cream puff doesn't sharpen a cream puff. Everybody wants to take the easy way out. Like, oh, let's talk about something easy. And then it's nice. It's lukewarm.
I'm taking this personal, by the way.
Listen.
Why?
Because of audio ink.
Oh, no, that's entertainment. Entertainment.
I'm kidding.
But you already know what I'm talking about.
I do.
So people are like, oh, let's talk about the easy things, the fun things, the cookies and lemonade poolside. You have to talk about some serious issues at some point. That doesn't mean it has to be bad. Don't talk about that, because if you don't talk about it, then everything gets lost.
You also can't talk about this 24 hours a day. So sometimes it's nice to talk about something else for a while too.
But you
got to
have
do
to
both.
But you
absolutely.
have to
you need
have
a healthy dose of each.
My point is, you have to have the conversations. You have to.
But you can't have one without the other. Otherwise, you're just going to go crazy either way.
Well, yeah, nobody said that.
Right.
You've got it right now. We have the fun, easy, cookie cutter conversations. We have that, but we need more of people talking politics and faith, which is what we don't have.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because when you go to different places, people want to just talk about the weather, and they want to talk about a sporting event. And I love all those things. I love
Thank you,
sporting
Kimberly.
events.
She says, Vic, you're so right. I know that I'm right on this one. I do know.
Yeah.
Because I've watched it my whole life. People but you know what? You'll never respect somebody. You may like somebody. Yeah, they're nice. They're cool. They're a cool dude. But you won't respect them unless you have the freaking good conversations that you need to have. Conversations that actually mean something in this life.
I did have a conversation with one of my liberal friends over the weekend, and they agreed to.
How did it start?
Well, they want me to teach them how to do like some video editing and stuff for their job. So, I mean, they're a friend. And we did get to talking, and I'm like, you guys keep calling for like liberals and people to come on the show so we can hear their voice and get the other side and all that. She doesn't exactly want to come on the show, but she did agree to like write me something to where
as you're talking, I'm coming in. I'm gonna get a cord. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You guys keep talking.
All right. But she's gonna write me something on like her side of things or whatever, and I will read it as an anonymous source.
Well, that's good, because Brenda on the chat line says the problem is nobody discusses things civil anymore. They get pissed off and angry if you don't agree. And that's on both sides. I mean, I would like to blame that all on liberals doing that. But I've seen, where political discussions fly a lot at our house, and people who come over, and we don't really have that many liberal friends anymore. And it's not because I don't want to be friends with liberals. It's just when I supported Donald Trump as vehemently as I did, they did exactly what Brenda's saying. They got mad, they got pissed off, they just called him Orange Man, they called him fat. But I would say, okay, these are his policies. What about this you don't like? Well, he's a racist, he's a homophobe, he's a xenophobe. And so that's how our society thinks they win, is by calling all these really elaborate names, when now it doesn't hold any water anymore. I mean, it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, and if you think about social media has everybody in an echo chamber with these algorithms, because
Correct.
I only get conservative stuff in my algorithm. I don't see the other side. You know what I mean? Like, but my liberal friends, they see all the liberal stuff.
Correct.
So basically, we're all just in echo chambers, and I think a lot of us are getting the same information, just in different ways.
Correct. And we get all the same information. It's just the different bent on it. And then everybody, conservatives, Republicans, everybody is then getting the flat out propaganda lies. We're all getting those.
Well, let me ask you this, because I've thought about this since we began this show from the get-go, trying to get a more left-leaning person, because we've never tried to say that this is a quote conservative show. We said that we are hosts that are conservative leaning. We've always said that.
Right. Doing a show.
Why not? I mean, would people be open to hearing? Because when we've had, and I know people, we all have a tendency as humans to be keyboard warriors. If you're chatting, we've had some Democratic points said on the show, and you guys are more respectful than most would be.
I think ours are very respectful.
But still, would you even accept a liberal, a Democrat on the show? Because we've thought about adding one at one point just to get another perspective.
I think it's healthy to get both sides. That way,
That's been my point.
We're not just living in an echo chamber, and maybe having that conversation will maybe get us somewhere.
Correct. And that's the problem. We've asked time and time again. We've even pleaded on the show, maybe not even for a liberal host like the five on Fox, because everybody loves to hate on Juan because he really is dumb. But because he really is. But a healthy debate is good, because you want to try to see someone else's point of view without calling them a name. But we've invited them, and I think we are polite. And I think for the most part, our chat line is very polite. They may not agree with the person, because I know that the lady that came on that you had, that is a friend or acquaintance of yours, that was kind of pro-Palestinian. No one on our chat line that I'm aware of agreed with the things she said, but they weren't rude to her.
Well, she's pro-Trump.
Well, and
but pro-Trump doesn't. That's just one aspect of. I mean, I think it's huge. I think it's make America great again. But you can be pro-Trump and still hate Jewish people, because you're two different people. I don't think a Trump supporter should hate Jewish people, but there's people that are. There's people that are all
By the
different.
way, an ironic indirect action of what happened with what the Biden administration has done.
What?
Is a report last week came out that you may have 140,000 more Muslims voting for Donald Trump than Joe Biden in Michigan, because they hate how Joe Biden is handled. They feel as if he's been like, oh my God, this is a 100% backing for Israel. And Americans like, you're not really backing Israel as much as you should.
Wow.
It's just another, but his support, like Donald Trump's support among Muslims and Muslim Americans right now, is much higher. I can't remember the exact total, but yeah, more Muslim Americans support Trump than Biden, and not because he's more sane, but because of how they feel.
Probably economically.
And I think it could have been the timing. But if Trump was in office and this happened and he went after the terrorist, then they'd probably not like Trump either. Just very interesting how
it is.
I can tell you in the regards to my liberal friend, a lot of her hate for not hate, but distaste for the conservative side of everything is because women's rights are getting stripped from them. Not only that, she's all about trans rights. She says that if you go to the bathroom in Florida, if you're trans, it's illegal to just go to the bathroom. There's something in their legislature that says you can't use a public bathroom or something if you're trans. I don't know.
We'd have to know the specifics.
Yeah, we'd have to know the story.
Right.
And that's the irony of what you're saying. Your friend is saying, who's stripping away the rights of women is liberals, not conservatives. They like to act like it's conservatives, but women.
Well, these are conservatives putting these things in legislation.
Well, with that, I don't have a problem with. If you are a transgender and you don't even know which you are, boy, girl, whatever, you have to go with the anatomy that you're given. You cannot go in a girl's bathroom with a penis. You just can't.
Well, see, and this is the problem. It hasn't been a lot, and I don't want us to get off the track here.
This is why we need this person in here to talk to them.
No, it's not even this person, because I want the person for a variety of reasons. This issue is simple. If it happens once, where a biological male calling themselves a female goes into a female restroom and assaults a female, or causes assault, could be a variety of issues, then you got to make it illegal. There's no reason why somebody with a penis should be going into a female bathroom anyway.
And exactly. I hate to be the devil's advocate.
End of story.
Right.
And I hate to be the devil's advocate, but it also happens with same gender. So kids get molested in the bathroom by this person of the same gender. So, I mean,
but then you can't take it. No, but here's the only issue, Joe, and I appreciate your point, is the fact that you can't have just because some people did it with the same sex doesn't mean you can't have same-sex bathrooms.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just, like I said, being devil's advocate. I'm going by the stuff that I was told.
Right. Yeah. Well, and like Lori says on the chat line, women's rights and trans rights, that's an oxymoron. I mean, it really is.
Exactly.
It is.
And here's the other problem, Joe. So I'm going to be the devil's advocate to your devil's advocate.
By all means.
The problem is the fact that, okay, we've already got issues that are taking place with same sex. We can't complicate things with people faking or pretending to be something that they're not. And once again, these are small cases, small amounts of numbers. So and that's why this is why it happened, is because parents and kids didn't feel safe with opposite sex coming in on top of things that have happened. Well,
and with all this, like, it's all these points that make them. I was asking them that she was saying that she's communist, and I'm like, well, how? That's a very strong statement. The friend of mine, she said that she was communist. And I'm like, so you want, all the government to control? And she's like, well, what's the difference? We already have a controlling government that we don't have a choice in. So the conservatives are the ones taking my rights away. So I'm going to go left.
Yeah. And see, that is someone, I know this sounds mean, but you almost have to pray for her or him or whoever this is, because they just don't understand. Okay. They just don't understand what's going on and who is stripping the rights away. And it isn't just, with this person will agree that it isn't just liberals that are stripping it. It's a uniparty. It's a whole, but that's contradictory, because it is a communist regime that is actually stripping her rights away, and him or her. But when it comes to the bathroom, there's just a right and a wrong that isn't even political. There's just a right and a wrong there.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's the slippery slope again.
It really is.
It's like, just because people start bringing up things doesn't mean the way you've done it is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Morality is morality. And I don't mean to be mean to people. Be what you want to be when you're older or whatever.
Correct.
Do whatever you want. If God intended on there being multiple sexes outside of male and female, he would have made others. It's part of it. And the problem is, it's such a complex issue when it comes to the bathroom. The specific issue that Joe was bringing up with that woman, well, we should be able to go in. Okay. All right. Now you're wanting a third bathroom, which is what they've done in high schools. In many high schools, there's a third bathroom now for people questioning, deciding, and it's just,
personally, I think that's the best. I mean, they did that for handicapped people. Why can't they do it for, I personally, I think that's the best solution to it. However,
But here's the problem with that third bathroom situation, is it's usually a family or a unisex bathroom. Okay, I'm not really offended by a unisex bathroom. Go in there however you want to. But the problem is, then that's not enough for them either. You give them a unisex bathroom.
Well, it's the best thing for everybody to have choice.
Yeah. Well, choice when it comes, except for when
choice
it comes
for what?
So, like, if I want to send my kid into the bathroom that is for biological, females or males, whatever, that the case may be, I have a choice to do that. And everybody, like the people who are transgender or not, they don't know, they can go into the unisex bathroom, or, everybody has a safe bathroom to go to.
But here's the problem, Joe. This is part of my slippery slope issue.
Mm-hmm.
Once you change to go a little bit here, then somebody else shows up and goes, oh, well, you gave this bathroom. Oh, well, now I'm this group. And
yeah, but if we don't compromise.
Well, no, but hold on. Let me finish.
We're stripping rights.
Well, hold on a second, though, buddy. Here's the problem. You're not stripping right. It is not somebody's right to tell somebody else, I'm this way, you're going to accept me and do this and do that because I may have a mental issue and think that I'm a man when I was born a woman.
Well, some people don't look at it as mental issues.
Well, they don't.
They look at it as that they were born that way. However,
and there's 99.
Everybody has the right to,
Joe, hold on a second.
Poop in peace.
Buddy, let me finish for a second. The problem is what you're going to end up with is this all started with gay being accepted. Okay, then it started with transsexual, like, well, you have to give us the equal rights, or okay, fine, do whatever you want. Then the next step is pedophilia. bestiality. And we all at one point in time
obviously there's a line,
but there's never a line.
Line
That's
keep getting pushed.
I don't think you understand what slippery slope means.
I get what slippery.
Okay, what it means, Joe, is it never stops.
You do know what this is all for, right?
And here's the problem: it's like one thing you accept, then it's the next thing, then it's the next thing, then it's the next thing, then it's the next thing. And before
I just think we compromise until we get to a nice spot.
No, I love your point of compromise, and that's what's great about you, Joe. Where do you compromise, though? I don't know what we do.
A third bathroom. And then if they want more, then too bad. You know what I mean? Like, we gave you what,
I have no problem with
everybody's getting what they want at that point.
It won't stop at a third
right, because liberals and people like that, they don't have a line. Because now my fear in all of this all the way
Kevin
through.
says liberals never have a line.
Correct. No,
there's always going to be some people that push the issue. But, I mean, we have, we have people on the show that I don't know.
There are, like Abe is saying, there is already a third bathroom.
Yeah, I see them in the schools. I mean, I have no problem.
Malls have had them for years.
I have no problem with the third bathroom.
I don't have a problem. We mainly already have it. So if you're already upset with the bathroom situation and you're transgender and you have the option of the third bathroom, why are you upset about the bathroom? But the thing that we're missing in this whole thing is where a line never stops with people that want to push the envelope from quote.
Well, there are the very strong gender, like, you have to call me by they or else I'm offended. I mean, I get that. There are the extremists. There are the people who are not tolerant. However, we got to compromise for the people who are willing to compromise.
And see, I guess I'm totally opposite of that. I don't think there is any compromise with humanity and the way that you were made. I just don't. Maybe call me intolerant
I get that.
or whatever.
However, it's not for us to judge.
Here's the thing.
Right.
You're not intolerant for saying that.
Right. But
And Joe, you absolutely, here's the problem with the word judge that's been used. You 100% in your life judge situations to decide what is good for you, what is not good for you, what is right for you, what is wrong not for you. You're told from a Christian standpoint, you do have to judge people and situations. Judging is not a bad thing. The left has taken that word and misused it as if judging is a sin or wrong. We all judge. You're a judger, Joe, and I'm a judger. And Lizzie's a judger. We judge every day. There is nothing wrong with judging. Sometimes
however, to impose my beliefs on somebody else when it's not causing me any harm whatsoever. If you want to whack off your penis, whack off your penis.
How would you be? But how are you putting your views on somebody else?
Well, it's like saying, hey, you shouldn't whack off your penis. You shouldn't, have a transgender surgery because I believe you shouldn't because my Bible says you shouldn't. That's where it becomes you're imposing your beliefs on somebody else who doesn't have the same beliefs.
Okay, well,
that's what makes this country great.
We have to keep these in silos and talk because when you say that, that's a very broad comment. We need to break it down into individual saints. So, are you specifically talking now about a child? Are you talking about somebody who's older?
We're talking about we're not talking about children at this point. We're just talking about imposing your rights or your beliefs on other people's rights.
How would somebody impose their beliefs on somebody else's rights? What's your example?
Like telling transgender people that they can't have transgender surgery or they shouldn't have certain types of transgender surgery.
How can
I think it's just the children is what people have a problem with.
I need a specific example. How somebody is imposing their beliefs or their Christian beliefs
this is where
somebody who's a trans, because it's just not.
This is where I need my liberal friend in here because she knows about all the rights that are apparently being stripped from them. That's all.
Bring her on. Let's have a good conversation.
I did have her. She's gonna do this anonymously. She's gonna write me.
But she needs to come prepared and be accepting if she hears something that she doesn't want to hear.
Well, she's not actually coming on the show. She's just going to write me something, a statement or whatever, and that's how we're going to try to communicate.
We're about facts.
Oh, absolutely.
All we want to talk about is facts. We're not worried about feelings. Facts are first and then feelings.
Remember how I told you I had a liberal friend that organizes some of the protests downtown? This is the friend.
Gosh, I wish she'd come in.
Yeah,
I wish she would too. I try, but she thinks that everybody's going to make fun of her and be ignorant to her.
And that's a cop out. She's lying because we have a track.
I think she has a pretty good I mean, some of the people in chat can be pretty. I mean,
No. But once again, Joe,
she's sensitive.
Joe, you keep saying these big, broad things.
Or
I'm talking about specifics. Here, let me finish real quick. We have a track record of proving, and Joe, you've watched us. We treat people with such respect. That's why they love coming onto this show.
I back you guys up
because Joe, Lizzie, and I treat people with total respect.
Absolutely.
And more so than any other show that you're going to find, because we agree, we want everybody's opinions said. Some of the comment line people can get a little bad, you know that. But for this woman to say, well, that's wrong.
She's not that strong of a person to come on and take criticism.
Those are the same kind of people that say Trump is a mean, bad guy.
Well,
and
it's like that's the kind of people we're dealing with here.
And it's like, wait a second, that's not like us.
And that is what we're dealing with, is people that are very sensitive, but then when they're backed into a corner, they feel they can't come up with facts and they just cry or name call. Now, and I'm not saying your person because I don't know them, but that's the problem. And I think people on the other spectrum of that have a problem with it because there's a bigger picture that we haven't even talked about here, and the show's almost over, so we really can't get into it.
Yeah, I didn't mean to hijack the show. Sorry,
you're
guys.
good.
I'm so glad you brought this up. We need to have good conversation.
We do. I'm glad he brought it up. Is the people that are probably afraid of it is the situation where we're seeing people in our government and in the uniparty, as I keep calling it, and other things that are trying to normalize pedophilia. They're trying to normalize.
And she doesn't understand that, because I brought that up to her and she's like, it was like, that's not what they're getting on their end. So
correct.
Yeah.
And so that's where I would love to have a discussion.
It's not even those same people.
No,
but there's another group of people
that
look at you and go, wait a second, love is love. I should be able to love somebody else that looks like me.
Or what is it? Minor
but then
attractive?
Here's the problem. Then it's like, well, wait a second. Now I'm this age. Now I love somebody who's 10 years old. And then the next step it is, and people go, it's like, well, wait a second. I love my sister. Why can't I love my stepsister? I love my cousin. Why can't we just, it's all about love, everybody, isn't it? It's about love. And you're like,
and I love my 5-year-old. She's just so attractive. Where me,
you need to be accepting of this.
Right.
Accept me. Just turn the other way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of little things. Like I said, you have to silo all of these issues because it's gone crazy.
Yeah. It has. And and that's why we do need to have a discussion, because I do think that the gay community, as a general rule, wants to be left alone. They do. And I think
100%.
They just want to be left alone. I can't speak for people that are transgender because I personally have met a few, but I can't say I know their heart. So I would be lying to you if I knew a lot about that. But gay people that I do know, they don't want any part of this sort of a discussion. A lot of them are libertarians, and they just want to, you do you, I'm going to do me, leave. I want to stay all of this, leave it out. And they don't think having sex with kids. But what people that are seeing is when you see a pride parade as opposed to, say, a Christmas parade or whatever, you see a lot of naked bodies and gyrating and things. So that's,
I don't mean to interrupt, Lizzie, but with my friend, and I did talk to her about many of these things, they do not condone, kids having their genitals chopped off at 4 or 5 years old. They don't condone in having sex with children and stuff like that. And this is coming from somebody who's very strong that way, like leaning that way. So I think we're talking about extremes when we talk about that, which it's still definitely there, because obviously there's a problem with child trafficking and stuff like that. There's definitely an issue there. However, I don't think that your typical liberal is for all of that.
It sounds like your friend just wants a third bathroom.
Exactly. And that's really what most of them they just want equality in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I wonder if people are in the chat line asking if maybe we could do it anonymous, like we could have her call in. And I know that we don't have a phone line in, but
we do.
Okay.
We have a tool now.
We can make,
we do. Okay. So then I would like to, if it's not your friend, someone else, they don't even have to say their name, would love them to call in and have a discussion and tell them why we're either wrong in this, or why their rights are getting stripped away, and who's stripping them. Because my guess is a lot of times they think it's the Republican Party or conservatives, when in fact it's the liberals that are stripping the rights away of women.
Well, and she's also talking about how they're stripping down in Florida, and it's DeSantis, according to her. They're taking Maya Angelou books and stuff out of libraries under the umbrella of gender queer.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
When we didn't
if you already have an idea like you do, like she does, you're going to look at something jaded. And there's so many of the book deals that we've already talked about that should or shouldn't be, and we got stuff we didn't even get into today that we will tomorrow.
Yeah, we need to about the books.
Did anybody? Somebody just said, did Snoop Dogg pass away?
No,
I think it's a rumor.
Yeah, and just you look at me because I smoke weed. It's not like we follow our god Snoop Dogg.
We can.
Did he die? I bet he had the jab.
I don't know.
I doubt that.
I don't know if Snoop Dogg did. I don't know. I mean, Snoop Dogg is,
did he get the vashizzle?
The fashizzle? Did he fashizzle?
No, the vashizzle.
I don't know. The shizzle.
Like the VAC.
Okay.
Or the VAX. He got the vashizzle.
Yeah. He got the vashizzle.
You didn't understand me the first time.
I get it now.
Stay away from the vashizzle.
Vashizzle. Don't you be taking the fashizzle, bedizzle.
There's no kind of breaking news or anything on him as far as search.
Yeah, we do. I think we should. Every day we're going to end on a happy note. Did Lizzie send you a funny picture earlier?
Oh, I did.
Yes,
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to look.
This is I guess this would be it's an all-inclusive Christmas.
Yes, it is for anybody that lives in the area that I live in. There's the Blue Sky Bar is there, and that's where people that have the pineapple all go once they're living in Swing Haven. So that's the Christmas tree of Swing Haven.
Why is that the Christmas tree of Swing Haven?
Because they're swingers, and they're often identified by a pineapple, and that Christmas tree has been turned into a pineapple.
If you have an upside down pineapple on your porch, you're a swinger.
There you go.
I was just plain stupid.
Right.
Of course you were.
So if you want to see, like, if you can't see it, you can't see what it is. It's a Christmas tree like a pineapple
for our
the
listeners.
Swingers. And it doesn't have to be
Swing it looks like a pineapple Christmas tree.
That's right. It could be Newtown. It could be Key West. It could be wherever all the swingers are.
It provides and presents lots of gifts.
I would have a pineapple Christmas tree, but not for those reasons. I just like pineapple.
Right. I didn't know it. For a while, I had pineapples on my door, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
I guess
not anymore.
Not anymore.
I guess you could do an upside down. You could have a little tree, your tree.
Well, people do upside down Christmas trees. Some people hang them from the ceiling.
Yeah, they do.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Germans do that.
They upside down Christmas trees?
Yeah.
There was a club down on the landing, not Mississippi Nights, but it was another one that used to do it all the time because it would take up space on the floor. So they just hung it from the tree.
There you go.
Hung it from the ceiling.
Mm-hmm. There you go. It's a thing, Vic.
I didn't. I learned. I love it. I love this show.
It's a thing.
Oh, man. That's awesome. Okay. Well, there you go. Thanks, Lizzie. That's from Lizzie's front room.
My front room. Yes, that's a picture from my front room. I'm inviting all my Swing Haven friends over.
Oh, dear God.
Now you have a vagina.
Hey, guys. Thanks again for joining us today and making the show what it is. If you have ideas, as we always say, advertisers, sponsors, partners, let us know. You name it. Thank you for donations if you're able to send ever. Canceltheshow.com. We appreciate it. The party. If we can find, I don't know where to tell people to go for the link. That's why I feel stupid right now.
Well, you can actually go to the page.
I looked for the link. It's got to be on social media somewhere. Yeah. There might be an event or something.
Did we? Okay, I didn't know if Alex posted.
Alex sent out
Did he put it on the? Did he put it on the Facebook?
I think he put it on the Outpost.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing on the actual website
because we need to get kind of a head count for coming Friday night.
And if you can't find the link, just DM one of us.
We appreciate it, guys. So thank you so much for watching and listening today. So for Projo and Lizzie Sparks, I'm Vic Faust. Guys, have an awesome day. That does it for this December 4th podcast. We'll talk to you later.